The hunt for treasure on Oak Island has been ongoing for centuries, with each new discovery bringing us one step closer to uncovering its secrets. Emma Culligan's latest findings at Smith's Cove might just change everything we thought we knew about Oak Island's mysterious past. From ancient flood tunnels to intriguing artifacts, the clues are adding up. How much has technology changed the game in this search? With tools like ground-penetrating radar and X-ray fluorescence, could the team finally be on the brink of solving the island's mystery? Let's explore the latest discoveries and see where they lead. Emma Culligan's analysis of the Smith's Cove concrete structure revealed one of the biggest clues in the Oak Island mystery, not in gold or ancient artifacts, but in something as ordinary as concrete. That's exactly what Emma Culligan discovered when she analyzed a cement sample found deep beneath Smith's Cove. Her findings might just change everything we thought we knew about the legendary flood tunnels. Culligan used a scientific technique called X-ray diffraction, XRD, to analyze the cement's composition. This method helps identify the materials inside an object, almost like DNA testing for rocks. The results were clear. The cement contained Portland, a key ingredient in Portland cement. This kind of cement was commonly produced in Quebec and British Columbia, but Culligan's analysis pointed specifically to Quebec as its origin. The real shock came when she dated the cement. It wasn't from the 1700s or even the 1800s. Instead, the sample dated somewhere between the 1920s and 1970s. This completely ruled out the possibility that it was part of an original treasure deposit. Instead, it meant that the cement was left behind by searchers, people who had been trying to crack the Oak Island mystery decades before the current team. This led Culligan and the Oak Island team to a key suspect, the Restall family. In the 1960s, Robert Restall and his family dedicated their lives to uncovering Oak Island's secrets. They were obsessed with stopping the flood tunnels, the legendary water channels believed to be the reason why the money pit keeps filling with seawater. To try and seal these tunnels, the Restalls used Portland cement mixed with Nova Scotia sand. If the cement found at Smith's Cove matches this mixture, it could be undeniable proof that the flood tunnels are real, and that treasure hunters for generations have been fighting against an elaborate booby trap. But not everyone is convinced. Some experts argue that Oak Island's underground formations could actually be natural rather than man-made. The island sits on what geologists call karst topography, a type of landscape where underground water naturally creates tunnels, sinkholes, and caves over thousands of years. It's possible that the so-called flood tunnels aren't part of a hidden treasure system, but rather a naturally occurring cave network. If that's true, then past explorers may have mistaken natural caverns for something more mysterious, leading to centuries of treasure hunting based on a misunderstanding. But here's where things get even stranger. Other discoveries in Smith's Cove suggest that these structures were not just natural formations. Wooden beams, stacked stones, and rock-filled holes have been uncovered alongside the cement, hinting at a larger, deliberately constructed system. If the flood tunnels were truly just natural caves, why would there be clear evidence of human engineering buried alongside them? The Oak Island team now finds itself at a crossroads. Is this proof that a secret flood tunnel system was designed to protect something valuable? Or does it reveal that the island's geology has been fooling treasure hunters for centuries? Uncovering the flood tunnels at Smith's Cove has become a central focus. For centuries, Oak Island has remained one of the world's most confusing mysteries, with treasure hunters and historians alike trying to uncover its secrets. But some clues refuse to stay buried. At Smith's Cove, an excavation revealed something extraordinary, a hidden system of drains and tunnels carefully designed to flood the money pit. The answer to that question could be the key to solving Oak Island's greatest puzzle. As the excavation team dug deeper into Smith's Cove, they unearthed a series of meticulously placed stones, forming what appeared to be an ancient water filtration system. It wasn't random debris. It was a system of box drains, a complex arrangement of stone pathways that all funneled into a single underground tunnel. Covering these drains was an unexpected material, coconut husk. At first, this may not seem like much, but coconut husk is not native to Nova Scotia and would have had to be brought from the tropics, hundreds if not thousands of miles away. The husk served a critical function, acting as a filtration system to prevent sand and debris from clogging the drains while still allowing seawater to flow through. Someone had gone to great lengths to design an elaborate flood system, ensuring that the money pit would remain inaccessible to anyone who dared dig too deep. This wasn't the first time Smith's Cove had revealed such a discovery. Back in 1849, a group known as the Truro Company set out to investigate the money pit after previous explorers had failed. They dug down to 86 feet only to wake up one morning to find their progress completely undone. The pit had flooded overnight as if the island itself was fighting back. Convinced that the water was coming from a hidden source, they decided to drill into the submerged chamber. What they found only deepened the mystery. Their drill passed through layers of oak, spruce, clay, and metal fragments, suggesting some kind of hidden vault. But then came the biggest shock. Tiny links of gold were discovered tangled in the clay. It was the first real evidence that something valuable was buried below. Determined to stop the flooding, the Truro Company searched the island's shores and stumbled upon Smith's Cove. There they found a massive artificial barrier of coconut husk stretching 145 feet wide, positioned between the high and low tide lines. Beneath this husk was a 5-foot-deep layer of beach stones, and under that, 5 finger drains, all perfectly engineered to channel seawater directly into the money pit. It was a deliberate, man-made booby trap, an engineering marvel designed to keep people away from whatever was hidden below. But before they could investigate further, disaster struck. A violent storm swept through the island, destroying the cofferdam they had built to protect their excavation. With their funds depleted and no way to continue digging, the Truro Company was forced to abandon their search. This discovery at Smith's Cove raises more questions. Who would have gone to such incredible lengths to protect whatever was buried? Beneath Oak Island? Was it pirates ensuring their hoard remained untouched? Or does this elaborate system suggest an even older civilization, with knowledge of advanced engineering far beyond what history has recorded? As the excavation at Smith's Cove continues to uncover the flood tunnel system, another unexpected find surfaces, a cast iron stove door. While the flood tunnels point to an elaborate engineering effort, this stove door suggests that the island's history goes beyond treasure hunting. Buried deep within the damp soil of Smith's Cove, an old cast-iron stove door surfaced, a relic, from a time when Oak Island was a hotbed of relentless treasure hunters. The Oak Island team had been digging in search of elusive flood tunnels, but what they unearthed was something far more telling, a piece of history from the mid-1800s. The discovery occurred when metal detectorist Gary Drayton, always hopeful, for a breakthrough, came across a large metallic object buried beneath the surface. At first it looked like a massive iron conglomerate encrusted with all kinds of mysterious material. Gary's instinct told him it might be related to a shipwreck. Possibly. A treasure that had been lost at sea and buried on the island. But when the team brought it to the lab, Emma Culligan ran tests that revealed a surprising truth. Using X-ray fluorescence, XRF, Emma pinpointed the date of the stove door to the mid-1800s, aligning with a time when Oak Island's fame as a treasure site was drawing searchers from around the world. This wasn't just any random find. It was an artifact linked to the people who had come to Oak Island, digging, drilling, and desperately trying to uncover whatever secret lay buried below. But why was it there? Who used it? The stove door seems to suggest that the people working on the island weren't just amateur treasure hunters. They were likely living and working on Oak Island, perhaps trying to keep warm during long, bitter winters. Was this part of a temporary camp set up by the treasure-seeking crews of the 1800s, or did it belong to someone else? The island was known for attracting treasure hunters, and the stove door may have been part of their efforts to survive the harsh conditions as they dug deeper into the island's mysteries. During the 1800s, many groups, including the Truro Company and the Oak Island Company, spent years searching for treasure rumored to be buried in the money pit. Some were funded by wealthy backers, others were made up of local residents who believed the stories of riches hidden beneath the island. The cast-iron stove door could have been a simple but essential piece of equipment for those enduring the relentless search, used to heat their makeshift living quarters as they continued their excavation efforts. It could also be a clue that the treasure seekers weren't the only ones on the island. Perhaps others were living there too, surrounded by all the tools and makeshift buildings of a small, industrious camp. The stove door wasn't the first of its kind found on Oak Island. In fact, earlier discoveries of cast iron stove parts have raised suspicions about the island's industrial activity. One of the most significant finds came from Fred Nolan, who discovered a stove part under the canopy of Nolan's Cross, another reminder that this island wasn't just a site of treasure hunts, but a place where people worked, built, and used the island's resources for survival. This could suggest that the island's history involves more than just treasure hunters. It might also have been home to those who sought to establish a small industrial operation using the island's natural resources to make bricks, process hides, or even mine. The cast iron stove door found at Smith's Cove now serves as another piece in the puzzle of Oak Island's past, a story that has evolved over time, fueled by treasure myths but also grounded in real human activity. Perhaps it's time to reconsider the island's history, not just as a place of treasure, but as a place where people lived, worked, and built lives of their own long before the myths and legends began to swirl. The role of advanced technology in recent discoveries has become increasingly important. As the team continues, modern technology is proving invaluable in analyzing and understanding these discoveries. With cutting-edge tools at their disposal, the search for Oak Island's secrets is more precise than ever, bringing new insights to the island's enigmatic past. The search for Oak Island's legendary treasure has always been an exciting blend of mystery and speculation. But now, modern technology is changing the game in ways past treasure hunters could only dream of. Gone are the days when digging with simple tools and relying on gut instincts were the only methods. Today, high-tech equipment like ground-penetrating radar, GPR, seismic scanning, and X-ray fluorescence, XRF, are transforming how the team uncovers the island's secrets. In an episode of The Curse of Oak Island, the Lagina brothers and their team continue their relentless pursuit of the elusive money pit, and technology is once again at the heart of their efforts. The episode kicks off with another ambitious drilling operation at Smith's Cove, where the team has already found significant clues. Last week, wooden beams dating back to the 1700s were discovered, and the team believes they could be pointing toward a flood tunnel. This time, they drilled deeper, hoping to uncover even more evidence of the legendary underground structure. Geologist Terry Matheson examines the core samples and finds sand, which could hint at a long-forgotten tunnel. It's a breakthrough. That gets Marty Lagina excited. However, the samples don't provide definitive answers, and the team quickly switches to a different approach. Seismic scanning seems to hold the key for this operation. A team from Eagle, Canada arrives prepared to set off 18,000 dynamite charges, each one sending sound waves deep into the earth. These waves are captured and analyzed, mapping out possible underground anomalies, including tunnels and voids down to a depth of 300 feet. Meanwhile, in the war room, naval historian Chip Reed sheds light on another piece of the puzzle. He believes that some of the structures found at Smith's Cove could be remnants of a military water battery, possibly linked to the Louisbourg treasure, a French treasure believed to have been hidden in Nova Scotia. Reed's insights add a new layer of intrigue, and the team now considers the possibility of French involvement in Oak Island's history, something they hadn't previously explored.